this is a full breakdown of exactly how $1,500 was made from one simple strategy, right? So I posted an Instagram story the last day saying, would you rather a YouTube video or a live masterclass? And majority said YouTube video. So this video will be on my channel forever for you to go back and look and study. But yeah, let's just dive right into it. So first off, we're on the Euro GBP USD pairs, right? We're on both of these pairs, and we were in a bearish movement to the downside. This is on the M1. We're on the 1 minute chart. But if we go on the 15 minute, yeah, it was overall bearish. Go back down to the 1 minute. Right, perfect. So you can see that I have both charts open because this is very crucial when it comes to these steps. Catching high or trades, just like this one that we caught on Euro. And it wasn't just me that caught it, it was multiple people in the VIP chat that caught it as well. So I wasn't the only one to make money. Now, I'm not saying everyone in the chat made money. Made $1,500, but they all have made money, right? But it was a signal sent out. I'll pop it up on the screen as well. But yeah, basically we have two charts open. Why do we have Euro USD and GBP USD open, right? Because they both move in the same direction. So our first step is finding an SMT. Now, if you guys don't know what an SMT is, that is called a smart money technique. Basically, what an SMT is that when one pair takes out the liquidity but the other pair fails to do so. For an example, if we zoom in right here on GBP USD, we have this low not taking out this low, which means there is no liquidity sweep, right? But if we zoom in on Euro, we can see that this liquidity gets taken from this liquidity, right? So that, again, that is called an SMT. When one pair takes out liquidity, but the other pair fails to do so. Now, this won't work if you're on NASDAQ and Euro USD, for example. So if let's say this chart is NASDAQ and then this chart is Euro USD, it's not gonna work, right? Because both them two pairs have nothing to do with each other. One's a future pair, one's a forex pair. Same with Bitcoin and gold. It just doesn't work. So Euro USD aligns with GBP USD, NASDAQ aligns with S&P, Bitcoin aligns with Solana, Ethereum, etc., etc. Gold aligns with silver, right? So anyway, on Euro USD, we see a liquidity sweep, but GBP USD fails to do so, right? So that's step number one. So immediately we know that there's going to be a change in direction of the market with Euro USD and GBP USD anyways. Our second confirmation would be a market structure shift. So we can see that this high, right? We were waiting for this high to get taken out. When this high was created, that made a market structure shift just like that. Same as Euro USD right here. Now, on GBP USD, the market structure was created fairly quickly, but it took Euro USD quite some time. Now, this can happen as well, but you need to make sure both pairs have market structure formed, right? Not just one of them. You have to make sure both of them have created a market structure shift, right? Yeah, lovely. Okay, so step one is SMT. Again, we're going to recap over this. SMT is when one pair takes out liquidity but the other pair fails to do so, right? So SMT is on Euro USD and GBP USD. Then we are waiting for a market structure shift, but at the same time, again, you can use these as an extra confirmation, I guess, right here. This is an inverse fair value gap as well. There we go, we can mark that as an inverse fair value gap. So SMT, inverse fair value gap, and then market structure shift. Now all these gaps got taken as well by this candle, these two gaps as well, here as well. But anyway, market structure shift was created and it left behind a beautiful fair value gap. Now this fair value gap was holding up really nicely. Now, the reason I entered here and I didn't enter as soon as it tapped into this fair value gap is because if we zoom in, we can see a fair value gap here that got respected a small bit, right? As soon as it got respected, I entered and I set my lows lows at the SMT low right here. So SMT, inverse fair value gap for an extra confirmation, and market structure shift on both sides. Now we saw that there was a few inverse fair value gaps on EURUSD and that it left behind a big massive 1 minute fair value gap. If we go on to GBP USD, again, market structure was created. If we go tap into our rectangle right here, we can see that it left behind this beautiful fair value gap as well, just like that. Mark it out. So as soon as it tapped in and we saw a bullish candle like so, we would have entered our position here, set our stops at the SMT low, zoom out a small bit, and we could have targeted a 1 2 3 or trade even higher. So there you go, beautiful catch. We could have went for a 1 to 5, even a 1 to 6. Yeah, it just ripped from this stupid simple strategy. So as you can see, I'm going to get rid of this and I'm going to get rid of this. We can see how both pairs are lined up almost perfectly, right? Almost perfectly. They're both going in the same direction, right? It's similar. Went down, up, consolidated for a small bit, again consolidated here, and then absolutely ripped. All because of one pair failed to take out liquidity, but the other pair did, right? Immediately when you see an SMT, be ready for a change in the market. So if we see an SMT on the upside of the liquidity, then we're expecting shorts. If we see SMT forming on sell side on the downside of the market, expect longs. So SMT was created on both pairs. Then, like again, this candle is similar and this candle is similar. So we both on both pairs creating market structure shift. Left behind the fair value gap, again left behind the fair value gap, and I even put this in for extra confirmation, I guess. It inversed a fair value gap here and then absolutely ripped after that. Now there are SMTs that aren't guaranteed that it's gonna reverse, and it's not a guaranteed SMT, as we can say. So how to tell that an SMT is going to be a high probability trade or a confluence, let's say? So obviously you guys know, I've said it enough, that an SMT is when one pair takes out liquidity but the other fails to do so. But to confirm that it's a good SMT and the confluence aligns with everything, after an SMT you'd want to make sure that a market structure shift is formed on both pairs. So SMT, market structure, okay, we're literally 80% of the way there. Two of the most crucial things have been formed. We are expecting longs, right? I wouldn't be entering a position if there was no fair value gap left behind. Now we are on the 1 minute, so it's more likely for a fair value gap to be left behind. As soon as I saw that massive gap, consolidated for a while, right? So it filled that gap, made that market structure shift, boom, we were on the money. I did enter early. If I go back, I think I entered around here. This is where I entered. I entered here because if we go on the 4 hour as well, we can see a 4 hour sweep, and it also held this order block nicely. So that's why it was just, everything was absolutely perfect. And yes, I did take the trade early, but I was so confident. The signal was put into the group chat, and for the boys that are in the signals group chat, they took the same call. Let me go back. So yeah, I pretty much entered. Well, it was a 1 to 3 that I caught, so I did enter around here, set my stops at this low, and I targeted a 1 to 3 RR, and this trade played out beautifully. Now it did consolidate for a small bit, but then eventually it hit, and I post these trades in my WhatsApp community, in my WhatsApp group chats, and I eventually then post the results on my Instagram story. So for those of you that follow me, you would have seen this exact chart work, how I caught it as well, and the money that I made, which was $1,500 on the day. Now on this trade specifically, I made just over $900, which made me majority of that $1,500 that I made. So I made the other $600 with silver and gold. But exact same strategy. I catch an SMT, a market structure shift afterwards, leaving behind a fair value gap, and boom. Once you see an SMT on the sell side and you're looking for longs, make sure after the fair value gap gets filled that you find a bullish candle, right? A strong bullish candle. So for an example, if we go here, it tapped in here, right? Tapped in. We see a strong movement to the upside. That's where we're going to enter, a strong movement to the upside. And again, like I said, we set our stop loss at the low at the SMT, and we target 1 to 2 or a 1 to 3. I was targeting a 1 to 3 because I was super confident. Like I said, everything was aligning perfectly. 4 hour got swept, market structure created, everything, literally everything ticked the box, and there was no reason for me not to enter. I'm pretty sure, I'm sure a lot of people caught this movement in the market, but this is exactly how I managed to make $1,500 from a strategy that literally has 2, maybe 3 confluences, nothing more. Again, if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen this exact chart work. Most of you watching are already following me, so you would have seen this. But again, like I said, there was a poll put up, and the majority chose a YouTube video. Now, again, like I said, you can go back on the video. The video is going to be up forever. Exactly how I did this, but it's not rocket science, you know. For those who are trading actively, you would know how to find an SMT, a fair value gap, market share. It's just stupid simple stuff. So yeah, this basically sums up the strategy that has made me to make that amount. Again, not only did I caught this myself, but multiple people have caught this exact trade. There will be, I know I'm not active on my YouTube channel, guys. I'm more active on my Instagram and my WhatsApp, but I will be posting more content like this. But make sure you drop a like and subscribe and a comment as well to see if you'd like to see more videos like this. But take care, guys.